Good afternoon, my awesome friends and followers of the channel. Thank you to those who have continued to stay with me through all the non-bullshittery. And for those that have joined as members, I do appreciate your loyalty. Anyway, what's going on in the royal circle of gossip and bullshittery? Well, it's now come alight. Something from the past has been brought to here. Now, this is the thing. Journalists wouldn't bring things up if they weren't mocked and lambasted and destroyed by the Timu prince and the hostage handler. They wouldn't do that. So why would a journalist bring this up now? Well, it's basically because the Timu prince and his handler are going through a bit of a rough time. Yes, they're reaching out to the British royal family, and it's not because they actually want to be part of the royal family. It's because there may be stocks and shares tied up within the royal family household, which they can't get their grubby little thieving hands on. So they're trying to pretend that we want to reconcile. It's a PR stunt. We can see that. So what's with this video? Well, do you remember back in 2022 when the Timu prince did an interview with a journalist and he spoke about the Hague Games, which were postponed for 2 years. They were having them in 2022 instead of 2020. And he spoke about having a mental health break. He basically showed the journalist that he has no self-awareness and no realism to the real world. When he said, I took a mental health break when I left the royal family. And I would suggest, and maybe people should take a mental health break from their jobs just to find themselves. He didn't realise that people need jobs to pay bills because he's had everything handed to him in a fucking silver spoon. But he was suggesting that members of the public should quit their jobs to have a mental health break. Not my words. Go and do your research. I'll put a link in the description. His words, not mine. So that just shows you how out of touch these individuals are. Now, when the journalist asked him, I believe you stopped off to see your grandmother, Her Majesty the Queen, he did say, well, you know, it's always good to see her. You know, she's got a wicked sense of humour to me, and we get on quite well. And I wanted to make sure she had the right people around her, advisor. I wanted to make sure she was safe. That was a bit of a kick in the teeth, wasn't it? Suggesting that the royal family aren't safe, or giving the Queen bad guidance, in his words. It's what we got in a gist, isn't it? But who's he got round him? He's got harassers and bullies and stalkers around advising him. You only have to look at the people they're connected to see their type of behaviour. You know, the attacking and the bullying that they've done towards people. So I'm glad this journalist has brought this out today. I'm glad this journalist, it's now in today's papers, yeah, showing that he had a complete lack of self-awareness, not realising that people needed the jobs to pay bills, survive and put food on the table. There we go. Anyway, listen, thanks for watching my video. Thanks for sticking with the channel. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.